Tate, to start with you, I guess being 2 days out from the World Cup, Eddie mentioned the buzz. As a players, is it an easy thing to sort of put aside and maybe even harness to just try and find that extra level?
Yeah, I think it's, we've done well to juggle it. Obviously, there's, about 80% of the squad that it's our first World Cup, including the both of us here. So you've got to juggle the excitement and try and channel that, like you said. And, Willie's been massive in that area. So it's been really good to lead this group alongside him this week. And we started off with this probably overexcited at the start of the week, but we really learned how to channel that energy and I guess that composure which we'll need against the Georgians come Saturday.
Just having that opportunity last week at the start of France against France, how's that helped just kind of also calm those nerves and sort of give you an understanding of what you're going to be expecting with sold out crowd expected?
Yeah, it's a perfect little start for us. Aside from the result, it is exactly what we're going to expect through these next couple of weeks, and none bigger than on Saturday. So we're expecting a big crowd, a vocal crowd, and we're expecting a really solid Georgian team, which will have to be at our best.
Thanks. Tate, I just wanted to ask a bit more about your relationship with Carter. I know that he ended up going to a different school to finish high school in Brisbane, but so you went to the same school for a few years there? He's a little younger than you, is that right? Did you ever play together at school?
No, we didn't. So Carty's 3 years younger than me. So we kind of crossed over there for about a year and a half before he went to school in Brisbane. But he played a lot of footy with my younger brother. So that's kind of how the connection started. That's how I know him so well. And the Sunshine Coast is a very small place. So, it's a pretty cool story.
What was his feelings, I suppose, after the warm-up game in terms of, he did miss a couple of kicks at goal, which obviously would have put a bit more pressure on France, but obviously, are you one of his closest mates? Did you have anything to say to him, I suppose, or he seems to be the sort of kid that moves on quite quickly?
Yeah, I mean, Carty was obviously pretty disappointed with those missed kicks, but I thought his game across the board was solid, and he's a very popular member of our squad, so and he's bloody resilient as well. So what we've seen from Carty ever since that is just he's put all his energy into trying to rectify those kicks. He spent hours, he's out there right now practicing that skill because he didn't quite nail that. But come Saturday, he'll be full of confidence and he's got everyone beside us backing him the whole way home.
Hi Tate. Can you tell me, Eddie's spoken a little bit about having to go forward a little bit in this campaign, destructured the side. Do you feel like it was necessary? And secondly, have you felt and seen a change with a much younger group, guys that haven't played years and years of Test rugby?
Did I feel like it was necessary, sorry?
Yeah, do you think it was necessary? And secondly, have you seen a change in the group, and what is that kind of change?
I feel like we had to find an identity. So for us, we felt like we found that. A game model that's built around our strengths individually, and probably a less structured model. I guess what you've seen is probably a complete buy-in for the whole team. And whilst we haven't put it together for 80 minutes, there's definitely, particularly in the training paddock, there's a hunger and a desire to put it together. And every week we've gotten better. The scoreboard didn't reflect that against France, but all the other stats reflected that we put it in a better performance against the Kiwis in Dunedin. So for us, there's a sense of belief, and it's tough to get that belief in teams I've been in the past where we've lost 5 in a row, but you wouldn't even expect that we've lost 5 in a row with, I guess the confidence that's beaming around the group at the moment. So I guess, like I said before, there's a real hunger to get better and get, results that we can be proud of and that all Australians can be proud of. So I think Eddie's done a tremendous job getting that alignment together from the staff to the players as well.
And the bulk of your professional career has been under New Zealand coaches with Brad and Dave. Eddie's spoken a lot about an Australian way, even a Randwick way. But is there a distinct difference, and do you really feel like Australia has needed to go back to whatever that Australian way is?
Yeah, I think if you compare Eddie to Thorny to Tate McDermott, they're all very different people. So it's hard to kind of say one's this way, one's the other. But what Eddie's done, particularly the playmakers, we can't play with blindfolds on. We can't play to a structure because the pictures in front of us are always changing. So Eddie's put that decision making front and centre of what we do at training. There's a lot of scenario-based training. And I guess a lot of reaction-based stuff. And at the start, it was a very big shift to what we were used to coming out of our Super Rugby clubs. It's all very three-phase focus. You have to be here, you have to hit this breakdown. So we missed roles at the start. But once we understood that this is the way forward for us, and this is what will get us to the top, we started to see a change in behaviours and good behaviours as well. So we'll continue to go on that path because we truly believe that's the right path. And like you said around Eddie, he's definitely changed things for the better.
G'day Tate. Considering the team's world ranking and 5 losses coming into this tournament, what do you think's a pass mark at this tournament?
A pass mark. Mate, I'd say to go all the way, to be honest. We're not here to make it, scrape out of the pool stages. Pass mark, and it should be for all Australians. We've got to win it. There's a lot of water under the bridge before we do that. But that's the pass mark.
Keen to get a reaction or a response from both of you, so maybe Rob, if you want to give Tate a little break for a bit. There's 25 players in the squad who are at their first World Cup ever, but you've got a coach who's, I think, been to more World Cups than any other coach. So how much has Eddie provided from an experience point of view? Because I know he's trumpeting youth and that exuberance of youth, but having experience is invaluable as well. So how much has he provided in that space?
No, he's helped out a lot, just with the boys as well. Obviously, he's been to a lot of World Cups before, so he's been helping out a lot of young boys that probably playing their first matches this week or the next few weeks, which has been helpful. But at the end of the day, I think it's just it's always been part of my dream as well to be at the World Cup. So I'm keen to go out there with heaps of boys who are playing their first World Cup as well, and just ripping for the jersey as well, and get to experience it, what the atmosphere would be like out there, and obviously being in France, and and we've had all the help as well from Eddie and all the boys that have been there before, it's been helpful.
Yeah, I think for me, Eddie's preparations, it's been the pipeline this whole time. We've understood that there's a bigger picture in the games that we've played ahead, and the preparation every day at training, he's had the blowtorch on since day dot. So obviously he spent time with people this week that need it. And like Bobby said, we rely heavily on those boys that have been to the World Cup just to share their experiences. So guys like James Slipper, Nick White, those kind of guys are really, really valuable in an inexperienced team like this. And that is inexperienced in the World Cup. Like you said, there's a hell of a lot of us that haven't played on this stage. But every game we've played up until this point, the size of the crowds at the MCG to Paris, we've been preparing for this game against Georgia, and I'm really excited to see what type of Australian team plays.
Rob, this one's for you. A theme that's sort of come out, I guess, over the last couple of weeks or even months is about how hard you guys have trained. Have you ever trained harder, and have you ever been fitter than you are?
Yeah, we've been training so hard. I don't think I've trained as hard as we have. Been up to Darwin as well. Did a couple of days up there where it was scorching up there. So even the past 2 weeks that we've had here, in Tate 10 as well, we've been getting flogged out there. So we've been doing all the hard yards there. And I think as a team, our connection's grown through that as well, through all the hard work that we've been doing out there, which has been good for us. And I feel like a lot of boys are in good nick, and I feel for myself that I'm in probably my best shape that I've ever been in. So I'm just keen to go out there on Saturday and hopefully put in a good job for the boys, and everyone can see the connection that we built and all the hard work that we've been doing. So pretty keen for that.